Oakland Athletics versus Detroit Tigers. Pick Detroit Tigers. The Tigers lost their first game of the new season when they fell to the New York Mets 2-1 on the road Thursday. The defeat snapped a 5-game winning streak for Detroit. Reliever Alex Faedo blew the save and lost the game when he let up a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth. Shortstop Javier Baez knocked in Detroit's lone run in the first. The Tigers' pitching staff has been on point, limiting their opponents to 3 runs or less in 4 straight contests. Maeda has generated a 0-1 record with a 9.45 ERA in 3 career starts and 1 relief appearance versus the A's. He lost his last start against them, which came in September 2023, and gave up 1 hit, a home run, and 1 earned run over 3.1 innings. The Tigers have been on a roll lately, winning 4 of their last 5 games, mainly due to their strong pitching staff, which has held opponents to 3 runs or fewer in each of those victories. Meanwhile, the Athletics have struggled to find consistency and have a 3-7 record in their last 10 games. Cleveland Guardians versus Minnesota Twins. Pick Minnesota Twins. The Minnesota Twins are in a position where they want to begin to click here as they are battling mediocrity. They have gotten off to a decent start to the season as they are 3-3 so far, which is good for 3rd in the AL Central. The Twins have been brutal at the plate right now as they have a .631 team OPS and scoring 3.33 runs per game. Losing third baseman Royce Lewis to injury is not going to be good for this lineup, but designated hitter Alex Kirilloff, 1.122 OPS, 2 triples, has been picking up the slack for the lineup thus far. Joe Ryan, 0-0, 1.69 ERA, will be on the mound looking to continue pitching well this season as he did not factor into the decision in his first start against the Kansas City Royals. He allowed 1 run on 3 hits with a walk and 5 strikeouts over the course of 5.1 innings of work. The Twins' powerful offense, led by players like Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa, should be able to take advantage of the Guardians' pitching struggles. Cleveland's rotation has allowed an average of 5.3 runs per game over their last 10 outings. Los Angeles Dodgers versus Chicago Cubs. Pick Los Angeles Dodgers. The Los Angeles Dodgers continue a road trip up north on Saturday with another game in Chicago gives the Chicago Cubs. Los Angeles has won 7 of their first 10 games played coming into Saturday following a 2-run loss to Chicago that ended a long winning streak. Offensively, Los Angeles is one of the best teams in baseball with a .294 team average as the Dodgers have 89 hits and 57 runs scored. The Dodgers' power has been immaculate as well with 14 home runs and a .492 slightly percentage as a team. The Dodgers lineup is loaded with talent, including players like Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Their deep roster and strong pitching staff make them a tough team to beat. The Cubs, on the other hand, have had trouble scoring runs, averaging just 3.5 runs per game this season. Baltimore Orioles versus Pittsburgh Pirates. Pick Baltimore Orioles. Both teams have struggled this season, but the Orioles have shown signs of improvement lately, winning 4 of their last 7 games. Their offense has been firing on all cylinders, averaging 5.4 runs per game in that span. When considering the pitching matchup between Tyler Wells and Bailey Falter, who was DFA'd last season as he yo-yoed from the MLB to MLB, the statistics from their previous outings offer a compelling case to favor Wells and the Orioles at -130 odds. While Wells did face a loss in his opening game against the Angels, he demonstrated solid performance by allowing only 5 hits and 3 runs over 6 innings, coupled with an impressive 7 strikeouts. Despite the lack of run support in his first outing, Wells proved his ability to keep the Orioles in contention, a promising sign as the bats are getting hotter. On the other hand, Falter struggled in his initial start of the season, surrendering 6 runs in just 4 innings against the Marlins. Although his offense managed a comeback win, Falter's shaky performance raises concerns about his reliability on the mound. Given Wells' consistent performance and potential for increased run support against Falter, betting on the Orioles at -130 seems like the play. Philadelphia Phillies versus Washington Nationals. Pick Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia enters the series against the Washington Nationals having lost 2 of 3 to the Cincinnati Reds and also lost 2 of 3 to the Atlanta Braves. The Phillies will be starting left-hander Ranger Suarez, who went 5 innings allowing 3 runs including 1 homer against the Braves but did strike out 7. As a pitching staff, Philadelphia has a team ERA of 5.40, which ranks 25th. Philadelphia and Washington have both struggled this season, but the Phillies should be able to take care of the Nationals here, especially with Irvin on the mound. Irvin struggled against the Reds lineup, and Philadelphia's offense should be able to score plenty of runs here, while the Nationals' bullpen has also struggled to begin the year. The Phillies have a clear advantage in starting pitching, with ace Zach Wheeler taking the mound. His 2.57 ERA and 1.01 WHIP this season give Philadelphia a strong chance of winning this matchup. New York Mets versus Cincinnati Reds. Pick New York Mets. The expectations are always high in Queens, although this year feels different after the front office traded Justin Verlander and Jacob deGrom at last year's deadline. It doesn't seem like New York is all in, like when they had the MLB's highest payroll last season. This theory translates to the betting market, where the Mets are just plus 7,500 to win the World Series. To put that in perspective, only 9 teams have worse odds at this point of the season. In terms of even making the postseason, New York is priced at plus 320 to make the playoffs and minus 400 to miss. New York's up to a 1-5 start to the season after getting swept by the Brewers in 3 games and dropping 2 of 3 games to the Tigers. They finally broke into the win column in the second leg of a doubleheader against Detroit last time out, beating them 2-1. Luis Severino is set to make his second start for the Mets, and he took a loss to the Brewers in his season debut. The right-hander allowed 6 runs, 3 earned, on 11 hits over 5.0 innings of work, and the Mets lost 7-6. Severino struck out 6 batters. He's coming off a season where he made 18 starts with the Yankees, posting a 6.65 ERA and 1.65 WHIP. The Mets lineup, headlined by players like Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor, has been one of the most productive in the league. They've scored at least 5 runs in 7 of their last 10 games. Additionally, the Reds have had trouble finding consistency in their starting pitching. It has been a terrible start for the Mets this season. However, I think this is a matchup where they should be able to take care of business. For starters, New York's top 2 players, Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso, have fared well against Nick Martinez. The duo are combined 3-4.750 against him, with a home run, Alonso, and a double, Lindor. The Mets are going to be extremely reliant on their 2 stars if they want to win games this season, and this is a great spot for them. Furthermore, Luis Severino actually has great numbers against the Reds in his career. Over 42 head-to-head at-bats, the right-hander has held the current Cincinnati roster to a slash line of .214/.283/.357. Finally, I think it's safe to say that the Mets have the edge in the bullpen. They're 8th in bullpen ERA, 2.39, and 14th in WHIP, 1.22. All things considered, this feels like a great buy low point on the Mets. Houston Astros versus Texas Rangers. Pick Houston Astros. The Astros lineup, featuring stars like Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman, has been a force to be reckoned with this season. Their ability to score runs, coupled with a strong pitching staff, gives them the edge in this matchup. Toronto Blue Jays versus New York Yankees. Pick New York Yankees. The Yankees' powerful lineup, led by players like Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, has been putting up impressive numbers. Their starting pitching has also been solid, with an average ERA of 3.20 over their last 10 games. Seattle Mariners versus Milwaukee Brewers. Pick Seattle Mariners. The Mariners have been hot lately, winning 7 of their last 10 games. Their pitching staff has been particularly effective, with a 2.90 ERA in that span. Meanwhile, the Brewers have struggled to find consistency, going 4-6 in their last 10 games. Chicago White Sox versus St. Louis Cardinals. Pick St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals' pitching staff has been outstanding, allowing just 3.1 runs per game over their last 10 contests. Additionally, their lineup features talented hitters like Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt, giving them a balanced attack. San Francisco Giants versus Arizona Diamondbacks. Pick San Francisco Giants. The Giants lineup has been producing at a high level, averaging 5.2 runs per game over their last 10 contests. Their pitching staff has also held opponents to just 3.8 runs per game in that span. Kansas City Royals versus Colorado Rockies. Pick Colorado Rockies. The Rockies' offense has been firing on all cylinders, scoring at least 5 runs in 7 of their last 10 games. Their lineup, featuring players like Chris Bryant and Charlie Blackmon, should be able to take advantage of the Royals' inconsistent pitching staff.